What you just watched was one of the first cutscenes in SIGNALIS. This is also the exact moment of the game that told me I was in for something special. Everything from the art style to the music was executed perfectly. I'm going to start by talking about the gameplay. SIGNALIS is a survival horror game developed by Rose Engine with similarities to the original Resident Evil and Silent Hill games. The game has you solve a variety of puzzles to progress through the areas and narrative. The puzzles start off relatively simple, with the game giving you hints and making it obvious where certain things go, but the game increases the difficulty as you progress. This enables the player to get used to how the game works and stops it from getting too easy. Another major aspect of the gameplay is combat. In true survival horror fashion, ammo and healing is scarce, which creates an immediate tension. Throughout the game you will obtain a variety of weapons from shotguns to pistols, all of which are fun to use. When you aim at an enemy, a reticle appears that gets smaller the longer you aim. The smaller the reticle, the more accurate the shot. This creates a risk-reward scenario where you can wait and potentially save more ammo, but risk the enemy reaching you. Or you can fire immediately and risk using more ammo. Like with puzzles, the combat increases in difficulty as the game progresses, with new and more frequent enemies, leading to some of the most intense encounters in any horror game I've played. The most unique part of gameplay is the radio. This is the mechanic that sets SIGNALIS apart from other horror games. Throughout the game you will need to use the radio to weaken enemies and reveal puzzle solutions. The way this works is a frequency will appear on the screen when certain enemies are present, and you'll have to tune your radio to that frequency and turn it on to create a sound that weakens the enemy, enabling you to kill it. In puzzles, you might need to look for a document that has a frequency that will reveal a safe code. This mechanic adds an extra layer to the puzzles and combat and keeps the whole game fresh. The thing that really makes this game special is the atmosphere. It has one of the most oppressive and unique atmospheres in any horror game I've played. Because of the unique hybrid art style of anime and pixel art, the game can't rely on shock factor as much as many AAA games can. The atmosphere and tension owes a lot to the music. The soundtrack for this game is outstanding. It has a perfect blend of terrifying industrial sounds and beautiful instrumentation, which perfectly fits the tone of the game and adds to the sense of hopelessness that the player will feel. The environments of the game add to the atmosphere by having locations that should be familiar, like classrooms, residential areas and offices, but they are all designed in a way that gives off the impression that something isn't quite right. And then we have some areas that are completely unfamiliar, like a fleshy cave system. The environment also has small details that once noticed make the game so much more intense. For example, security cameras always follow the player, so you are always being watched. The final aspect to talk about is the story. I'm not going to say too much in order to avoid spoilers. In SIGNALIS, you play as Elster. The game begins with Elster waking up on a crashed ship and you have no idea what is happening. You find a photo of a woman and the game follows Elster as she tries to find whoever this person is. As the game progresses, you find strange messages and explore a series of environments while trying to find this woman. The game tackles themes of humanity, love, and what it means to be alive, and it tackles these perfectly. The game drip feeds you story beats at just the right pace so you constantly have a reason to get through the next area. The game also has a plethora of interesting lore to find that detail characters, events, and the world the game takes place in. SIGNALIS has 4 endings. The one you get depends on the way you play, which gives the game replay value and encourages different play styles. The ending I got in my playthrough has stuck with me ever since I finished it. The achievement tied to my ending was haunting and made me feel guilty. It simply said, fail. This is the first time an achievement has made me feel emotional about a story. I felt guilty that I didn't succeed at achieving Elster's goal, and it made me want to go back and play it again. To conclude, SIGNALIS is a game made of many parts that all work together to create one of the best horror games out there. This game was made by 2 people and I am eagerly awaiting their next game, because they have shown they truly know and understand the strengths of horror and good storytelling. Thank you for watching. Please consider liking and subscribing.